What's up, guys and gals, true believers? Here's a look at the Marvel Legends Gladiator Hulk series, Marvel's Ares. This is a character from the Thor comics. Here's a quick look at the packaging. See Ares right there. Oh, look how cool he looks. And you don't see it on camera, but it reads, Crusaders of the Realms, these warriors wield ancient weapons in their fight to bring balance to the kingdoms from which they hail. So there you go. I'm actually not too familiar with the character. Okay, no, I'm familiar with the character, but I don't actually know too much about the character. Even in all my years of reading comics, I never really read the Thor comics back in the day, and it honestly wasn't until Thor being in the MCU that I became a fan of the character. So you know, I would consider myself a fan of the character now, but that's based more on you know, Chris Hemsworth rendition of Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and as opposed to the comics and stuff, whether it's, you know, the classic stuff or the modern stuff. Never really read the Thor comics. So anyway, still such a badass looking character. You know, I'll do some little Wikipedia research, you know, reading up on them to kind of get up to speed on the character. But regardless, you know, it's a must-have because I do want to complete that Gladiator Hulk. And actually, with this guy, I just need 3 more. So there you go. It's a heavy figure. So let's crack this guy open and take a closer look. All right, here he is. Really cool figure. But before we get into him, let's take a quick look at the Build-A-Figure pieces you get for Gladiator Hulk. You get his left arm, as well as this, I don't know exactly, but I want to call it like a hammer, like a war hammer. Looks really cool. Look at the details. That is really nice. Even the arm here looks really cool. I can't wait to build this guy. But I've heard some people complaining about the quality of the plastic used on this. I can see, especially when it's warm, I can see that warping. But right now, you can see it kind of has some wiggle there. I want to say if it's cooler, it should stay straight. But I'll find that out after I get this guy completely put together. Okay, on to Ares. If I'm not mistaken, this guy was previously a Build-A-Figure. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if this is the exact same mold, with possibly just, you know, this slightly different paint apps. I want to think that's the only difference. Or I don't know, maybe there could also be some slight retooling. But again, I'm not sure. Others might know. Regardless, this is a pretty big dude. He stands to the top of his helmet about 8 inches. And even without his helmet, he stands about 7¼ inches. Yeah, really cool character. You know, it's always cool when you get like a figure that's a regular release that was a Build-A-Figure, or it's kind of Build-A-Figure worthy. This is one of them. He's got the usual articulation, no double elbow, But, you know, everything else is there. Really good articulation. There's double knees, ankle rockers and everything. Quick 360 as well, just so you can get a full look at his design and details. Speaking of details, it's always nice when we get some added details like how would you call it? I wouldn't call that exactly. I guess you could call it weathering, shading, shadowing, whatever you want to call it there, and as well as in these armor pieces. You know, these could have just been painted a flat color or even just molded in silver, and that's never cool. But look at the painted details. That is, you know, as far as Marvel Legends figures goes, that's a damn treat right there. If only they all looked that good. And even on the helmet there, and even his face. Look at that. Yeah, so really cool. Again, you know, I don't really know much about this character, but yeah, you can't not find this dude to be really badass. Now, his weapons include both this big ass axe as well as this big ass sword. It doesn't get much more badass than that. And he's got this knife that I actually would have assumed was just molded in there, but it is removable with an actual functioning sheath. So that's a plus right there. There is no sheath though for either the axe or the sword. But you know, how cool are those? And you can have them dual wielding these, I'm sure. I'm sure you can get them to hold either with both. You know, you can grip them with both hands, but how awesome is he? You know, dual wielding these giant ass weapons. And look at the detail. Look at the battle worn detail on this axe. You know, and that's painted detail right there. And even on the sword, it's a little warped. That's because of the packaging, but nothing that a little heat can't fix. No painted details on the blade of this sword, but there is battle worn detail, you know, sculpted in as well. Yeah, that's awesome. That is pretty damn awesome. So, you know, again, even for how little I know of this character, I gotta say, you know, and you know what? Let's be realistic. There's gonna be a lot of people like me as well. There's gonna be a lot of diehard fans who love the character, who know the character well. But then there's gonna be a lot of collectors like me as well, who, you know, they don't really know the character, but they're fans. They're fans of Marvel. You know, they're fans of Thor. And they're gonna see this guy and he's like, yeah, that's a badass dude right there. Gonna need him for my collection. And that is definitely me right now. So there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.